Welcome to the GR Rideshare Podcast. Thanks for joining us today. We had a fantastic podcast in store for you. We talked about the holiday weekend and what we did. A couple of stories in the news. We also talked about a few accidents. One with a non-seatbelt rider, and one was kind of a weird story, but you'll hear that. New segment, we decided to take 3 questions from our local Facebook group. That was kind of fun. And then, of course, our current events. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook at GR Rideshare Adventure, and, of course, our YouTube channel at GR Rideshare Adventures on YouTube.
Whoa, I have a free pizza. You know what?
From where?
Pizza Hut.
Ugh, that's garbage pizza.
Take a quick picture of that. Redeem your points soon to make sure you don't miss out.
What was that from?
Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut.
I mean, like, is it an ad?
Hut rewards. I don't know. I just checked my
Scam.
email.
Is it from a Nigerian prince?
Yeah, it might be.
You're right about... you're right. I'm glad you caught that.
Spam.
You think it was?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
Here, review our fan.
Well, yeah,
Who does that?
Yeah, I definitely did not see that email thing. So, but you know, if you click it on an iPhone, you're not going to get a virus or whatever.
No, you won't. But
don't
on a computer, yes, you will.
Yeah, you will. I'm embarrassed that I didn't catch that because I'm usually pretty good at that stuff. But
that's like the first thing I look for
is the email
of the sender.
That's good. So we got Ben and Nick and me, Jason. Jason and Nick haven't driven. We're still rideshare experts, but we haven't driven. Ben, tell me how amazing Memorial Day weekend was.
Memorial Day weekend was horrible for earnings.
Okay.
I guess the rides were fine. Passengers were pretty calm. Good natured, didn't have any crazy stories, so that's always good.
Yeah.
But certainly slow. I mean, I don't know the last time at 2 o'clock that me and some other drivers said, hey, let's go get pizza.
Yeah.
It was so
slow. No surge?
Very little.
I mean, like...
I think it got up to maybe 2x
Wow.
So we got a couple of those, and then the surge disappeared.
Yeah.
So then we're like, let's go to Vito's. So
Nice.
We got pizza.
So pizza at Vito's, I've never had. Is it good? Or
It's good,
Is
yeah.
it drunk pizza, or is it like it's good when you're sober and because even at 2 a.m. you're tired, so your judgment is
yes
a little swayed.
You know, I like Fratelli's.
Yeah,
myself.
that's
Fratelli's.
Fratelli's
is
is
where it's at.
awesome.
I've never even heard of it.
It's by Knickerbocker.
It's right on the
Oh.
corner.
Yeah, it's on
Okay.
the corner. Their pizza is phenomenal. I wouldn't say Vito's is quite that good, but Vito's is a staple. They've been around for like
They have.
years. So
Yeah, I have a little story about Vito's. Maybe 8-9 years ago, I went to the intersection for the Free Beer and Hot Wings live show, and it was my birthday weekend, and my buddies bought me lots of shots of Rumplemints.
Oh, God.
Have you had Rumplemints before?
Yep.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Rumplemints?
Rumplemint. So it's
Don't
like
do it.
no, it's like 100 proof of just like cough syrup, basically. But I think I had a couple of beers, so it didn't taste so bad. And ended up throwing up, and they kicked us out front row. It was about halfway through, and I get out there and I'm laying in the snowbank, and Vito's Pizza comes by, and all my buddies are eating it. I'm like, oh, I want some pizza so bad. And it was just like smelled amazing. Of course, I've never tried it, but that was a terrible night. My wife had to come pick me up.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
It was terrible. To this day, maybe like 3 months after that, or maybe, I don't know. I couldn't tell you the time frame, but it was within a year. They came over again and bought Rumplemints, and I was like, I'll do one shot. Like,
Yeah.
I threw it back, hit the back of my throat, came right out. I'm like, never again.
do it.
So that's my Vito story.
There you go.
But
So you never actually ate Vito's?
I've never eaten
You
it.
just smelled it.
I've smelled it, and I was pissed at my friends because, you know, of course, after I threw up, I was hungry.
Oh, for
You
sure.
know what I
yeah.
mean? But
That's awesome.
Can you imagine just being an Uber driver and pulling up to where you were just laying on the snowbank?
Yeah, well, we've had stuff like that happen. We're like,
And I drive away.
Cancel.
Not
See,
happening.
or the Epic, their buddies try to push their
Push
their friend
this
in
friend
there.
is for a
He's
friend.
fine. He's fine. Mm-mm.
Nope.
Peace out. So, what do they get for a slice of that?
$2.50.
Oh, that's highway robbery.
Well, they're big pieces, though.
Are they?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, not very profitable. Did you do any airport? I haven't seen the screenshots of the terrible airport queue.
That's what I was going to say.
Has it died down?
I've seen a couple posts about how the airport has been good.
Okay.
You know.
Oh,
but-
yeah, that guy on either Sunday or Monday night. I remember him posting about that. But
I'm like, shut up, you idiot.
Yeah, I know. What are you doing? Yeah, I definitely was very scared. It was typical summer, so I thought, whatever, it's summer. But I haven't heard anyone complain about it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, Electric Forest is coming up here pretty soon.
True.
is it really?
That's out of our service area, though. But
You can drop off
ride's
there. Yeah.
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 But someone said that they're doing a big bus shuttle this time. So
I
that
swear
at
they
the
did
airport.
that last year too.
Oh, I could
I
be wrong.
swear.
But
There's
you
a bunch.
You got.
I had
Three
two
or
or
four?
two or three, I think.
Okay.
But one of them was a Selectron.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
What's that like?
I think it was
180.
No, not that much. It's
No?
not that far.
Isn't it like north of
I want to say it
Muskegon?
was like I didn't go all the way to Electric Forest. I
Oh.
dropped him off in Muskegon at a
Okay.
hotel.
Okay.
So it was like 137. I
Oh.
want to say right around there.
Cry me, 137.
I'm
Uber
not
X,
crying. but-
Uber X, 3650.
Yeah, seriously.
I don't know what it would be, but it seems like that's
The
what it
Electric Forest rents copy machines from my company.
would- Do they really?
They do. And we
Wow.
bring them out every year. And they give I think, a pass or two, something like that,
Really?
to the tech that brings them out.
I was gonna say you could sell those for quite a bit.
Seriously.
So the beard groomer trimmer lady I go to, Rogue Parlor on Leonard, they buy her for the 2 weeks, and she cuts hair and beard out there,
Wow.
and they pay her an obscene amount of money
Really?
to do that. Yeah,
Wow.
I don't think she's doing it this year because she's having some foot surgery or whatever, but that's what she does for 2 weeks. She just goes out there and they give her like the room and board, or I don't know if they put her up
Wow.
in a cabin or something like that. But I thought that was kind of a sweet gig.
Yeah.
So you just made a memory come up last year. I did have 4, but 2 of the people that flew into Grand Rapids to go to the Electric Forest, their buddy was supposed to get them tickets. Guess what they didn't get?
The tickets.
tickets.
Yes.
I remember
So they
that.
came in
Oh,
all the way
no.
from California.
Well, then I remember saying to you, like, why wouldn't you confirm that they had the tickets? Are you
Yeah.
so hippie and high all the time? You're like, it's cool, man. We'll just hang out.
I felt bad for him, but I thought it was hilarious.
It is hilarious.
So
It's
Like, why would you do
ridiculous.
that?
That's a millennial
Oh,
for
yeah.
you. I don't think Nick is a millennial, actually.
Hmm,
Are you?
maybe.
Are you considered a millennial?
I think I am.
What's your birthday?
1990.
1990. I was
Barely.
a freshman in high school.
I was 6.
So anyways, I am actually driving this weekend. I don't know when. It is crazy busy, but
So, in other words, you're not.
no, I miss it. I
That means he's
absolutely.
going to sign on and do a couple airport rides. And
And then be like, oh, it's 11 o'clock. Time to go home.
Well, yeah. I mean, I do have to be up early on Saturday.
Which
so.
I actually thought about that for driving this weekend, not doing the bar crowd. Just going out a little bit earlier, doing the runs around the airport or
Yeah.
and just going home and not worrying about it.
Yeah. I mean,
Is it worth staying up until,
Right,
3,
that's-
4 in the morning to make an extra, $40?
Yeah.
that's a good point. Is it worth your lack of sleep and being like
Dead the next day.
hungover ish the next day
Yeah.
for an extra, $30 or $40? I don't know. I honestly is going to turn on Grubhub. I'm going to
That's
try
not
to
a
go
bad
out
idea.
earlier
Yeah.
instead of going out at 9. I'll go out at 5, turn on Grubhub and run that for,
There you go.
4 or 5 hours. If they still will have me, I haven't signed on in a long time.
Oh.
They haven't sent me they did one time the deactivation email, and they
Yep.
did deactivate me, but then I just had to submit some papers or whatever. So yeah, I will be driving. Hopefully, I hope it's not as slow. But did you have any money goals that you shot for, or
I was hoping for $100. That was
for the
kinda
weekend?
for Saturday.
Oh, you only work Saturday?
Yes.
Yeah, he didn't drive Friday. I remember his Facebook post.
Barely a driver.
I know.
You
right?
can't even say
Hey,
it.
at least I signed on.
Yeah, that is true.
It's true.
So I did not hit my goal. I
No.
was 25 short.
Ouch.
Well, Jesper had a goal of like 350, and then he said he adjusted his goal.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait a minute.
You had to adjust your goal.
You adjusted it after the weekend was done? Like, let's just say you didn't hit your goal.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
350 is pretty aggressive for.
It was.
I don't even want to know how many hours it take to hit that.
Well,
for this
he
past
ended up
weekend.
making like 2 or 225 in 14 hours. So it's still $20 an hour. So which isn't bad.
But that's
for a
not
holiday.
after gas though, and all that stuff. So
yeah. So, what did you guys do with your family over the holiday weekend? My mother-in-law has a cabin, so we always go north for 4 days. So it was hot. The air conditioner broke.
oh no,
So this is 3.5 hours north. This is how cheap it is to live up there. So it broke on Friday, and it was supposed to be like 92 on Sunday. So she calls her guy, right? He'll be out Saturday at 1. So first of all, he's going to come out.
yep.
So we're thinking, oh man. So he comes out. He's probably out there for an hour, fixes it, gets it running. What do you think it costs for him to come out? I mean, I already kind of led with the
I'm gonna go with, since it's a holiday weekend.
right.
I think they would charge more. I know it's gonna be
right.
cheap, but
well, yeah, it's over. I mean,
um,
first of all, it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
I would say $150.
What are you thinking?
$50.
No, it was. See, I led with the punchline. Like I led with.
Well,
it
you
being
gave
up
it
north.
away
I
because
know.
you said he was only out there.
It was
for-
$134. So $34 for the part and $100 for the labor. I'm like, if you were in town here,
Yeah.
You'd be making bank.
oh yeah, I mean it'd be $150 for them to even go
Yeah.
on the door.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, so anyways, got the air running, and the rest of the weekend was pretty good. Rained a little bit. So what about you, Nick?
We go to the Jennison Parade every year, and it is amazing and awesome. Hot as hell though.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was bad.
So does that parade go past Baldwin where you're off your side street?
It does not. It ends, or actually I should say it starts at right around Cottonwood. And then it goes all the way down to, I want to say, where Meyer is.
Whoa, wait. Meyer and Cottonwood are right next to each other. Cottonwood and Baldwin intersect, and it's where Meyer...
Coconut, I mean. I'm sorry.
Coconut.
Coconut, not
Okay.
Cottonwood.
So
Sorry.
So one street before the street I grew up on, Magnolia.
Yeah, yep.
And then you're like the next street.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
Well, that's
it's-
not bad.
No, not bad at all.
I always hear horror stories of people trying to getting pissed about putting their
Oh.
blankets out early and the
This
night
year,
before.
not that many people did that.
Really?
I'd tell you the part that pissed me off. They always pass out a ton of candy and everything
Yeah.
like that. Well, just walking home, just looking at the sidewalks and the grass areas,
Oh, trash.
trash all over.
That's sad.
You know, I saw.
And usually they have Everkept come in last, and they'll pick up all the trash during the parade.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that this year, and there was just trash everywhere.
Yeah, there was an article about Grand Haven getting
saw
trash,
that
and I
on the
read that.
beach.
I'm like, you can't pick up your wrappers. I mean,
Seriously. What's wrong with the
that's
world?
that is
I
very
didn't let any
frustrating.
of my kids eat any of their candy until we got home.
Oh, dang.
Just because I knew they
Wow.
would drop it, or,
Yeah.
I didn't want to sit there in 90-degree heat picking up their
Yeah.
wrappers. But
That is, I don't understand that.
Seriously.
but it's kind of, disappointing, I should say.
Yeah, that's a huge parade. I mean,
It
that's
is.
a big one.
I want to say it lasted for right around like an hour and a half altogether.
That's a commitment. That is a commitment.
But they got the planes that fly overhead, and
Yeah.
it's an awesome parade.
yeah, I've been to
Nice.
that plenty of times. Obviously, growing up in there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
what about you?
My son played in the Grand Rapids Invitational Tournament. The tournament.
What is that?
It's a soccer tournament for, I just looked it up, select, elite, and premier teams
Ooh,
for soccer. So my son played on a travel team. It'll be the one and only season he does that. Because
It's expensive.
we are not a travel soccer family. And I'd like my Memorial Day weekend not sitting watching soccer. But,
well, it's fun to watch your kids play, but I agree.
I hate soccer. That's
You
just
do?
my personal opinion.
Why don't you like it? Do you like
just
hockey?
when I was younger, I got booted out of soccer. Well, it was
Nice.
before I was old enough to play football, and I kept just slide tackling people.
Well,
So I got booted out. So I've always, since then, just not liked soccer.
you should have played hockey. It would be perfect for
There you
the
go.
aggressive playing.
However, last year, my son cracked what would have been a hilarious joke if it wasn't Memorial Day. So, yeah.
This happened this year?
No, this was last year.
Oh.
It just came to mind as I was thinking about him and his soccer. But last year, we're in Zeeland for the parade, and every year after the Zeeland parade, everybody walks down to the cemetery, and they fire off a cannon, and they read through a list of people who have given their lives in service of the country. My grandpa is one of those men, and one of my heroes. But so we went to the ceremony, and we are pulling into the cemetery, and my son tells a dad joke that he learned from me. Most horrible time to tell this joke. He leans over to my mom and says, "Hey, Grandma."
Oh, no.
People are dying to get in there.
Oh, man.
Looking at the cemetery, I'm just like,
It's a funny joke, though.
It's like, that's a really good joke, son, but your timing is way off. Not appropriate on Memorial Day. So I'm trying really hard not to laugh because I'm just amazed at his timing. I'm like, seriously, kid?
Impeccable.
But then I'm also feeling like, oh
Mortified.
no, my mom, that's her dad. What is going on? So
was there any awkward conversation or not?
no.
Grandma didn't say anything?
Grandma.
Grandma probably didn't hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, she
hopefully.
heard it. She just kind of ignored it, didn't say anything, and just kind of turned her head and looked the other way. I was just like, so I pulled Stefan aside and was like, "Hey, bud, probably not the best time to tell that joke."
You could get away with that any other day except Memorial Day.
Exactly.
Like, oh, man.
People are dying to get in there.
I mean, it is kind of funny. So, all right. So, yeah, we all looks like a pretty good weekend. Rideshare stories in the news. So we have a couple of articles and some videos, and so we're gonna play those, and hopefully you can hear them, and then just kind of discuss. This one's about underage passengers.
Too young to ride.
Uh-oh.
Where'd your audio go?
Soccer practice, think again.
Children riding alone are
There
not
we go.
supposed to be using the services, but we
Soccer
found
practice.
it happens a
I
lot
should have
in
tried
spite
that.
of those rules. NBC5's Phil Rogers reports.
In less than a decade, ride-sharing companies have exploded in popularity, but they've
Yep.
also been the subject of high-profile criminal allegations across America.
I love these.
Scenarios no
Okay.
one,
The
especially
voice.
children, should
Deadly.
What you may not know is that Uber and Lyft, in their own policies, prohibit hauling children. Anyone under the age of 18 unless accompanied by an adult.
No kidding.
But we've found those rules are routinely violated by both riders and drivers.
Are you guys 18 years old?
No.
That's NBC5 Investigates producer Courtney
That noise.
Copenhagen.
You're like,
Signed up
oh,
to drive for
I gotta
Uber
ride.
and found that
Where's my phone?
Chicagoland kids not only routinely requested rides,
We're not even aware. That's never been a problem.
Do you partake Uber often?
Yeah.
they
Liar.
told her they were regular ride-sharing users.
I take Ubers home like every day.
Do you take Uber a lot?
Yeah, I have.
Time and again, we watched as underage riders hailed another Uber after Courtney told them no. And remember, both Uber and Lyft state right in their policies kids are not supposed to be riding without an adult. They're not even supposed to be using the app. But watch what happened when we sent these girls out in downtown Chicago in search of a ride.
Are you okay by taking 12-year-olds?
Who would let their
Time
kids
after time,
downtown
Terrible
Chicago
parents.
Uber and Lyft.
to pick up rides?
12, could you take us?
It
The bus was
no
right there
problem.
and there. They could have took the bus.
So why have the rules if they are routinely ignored?
The rule is very well crafted to fit into their legal objectives.
Brian Greening is a Chicago attorney specializing in cases involving Uber and Lyft.
What they want to do is they want to make sure that there is not some sort of law passed against the use of their app involving stricter background checks, involving fingerprints, and by making the application only available to adults, they can get around some of those requirements.
He's right that rideshare companies do their own background checks using third-party services which primarily look at convictions over the last 7 years, while the city of Chicago has long required cab drivers to undergo more rigorous fingerprint background checks.
We should want these vehicles and these drivers to be safe.
Tracy Adman is with the taxi union, which
Oh,
is
of course, union.
relaxing rules. In response, the city recently announced they were removing the
minors can
fingerprint
take
requirement
taxis.
for cabbies instead of requiring it for rideshare drivers. She argues that's a mistake.
What the city's saying, we want to level the playing field. Yes, let's level the playing field, but let's raise standards, not
She looks
lower
like a
them.
loony
Lawmakers
bin.
are treating
what?
Uber and Lyft
Like she
differently
belongs
than
in
other
the loony bin.
transportation companies.
Yeah.
They're saying
She's got those
these are
eyes.
tech companies. Well, they're not.
Both Uber and Lyft insist they are serious about their policies and that violations can result in deactivation of your account. The city of Chicago insists its background check procedures are actually stronger than before and now equal for cabbies and rideshare drivers alike. Phil Rogers, NBC5 investigates.
So did you hear that towards the end? Instead of making Uber and Lyft drivers fingerprint, they just took it away for the cab drivers.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
That seems like a union thing.
No kidding.
We've all run into the minor thing.
Yep.
There's people that say that you should card people and blah, blah, blah. I just use my best judgment. If
Yep.
they seem of age, I take them. If
Yep.
they don't, I say no. I mean,
Yeah.
have you guys had any specific stories or...
The only thing I can think of is, just when you get a ride request from a school, just don't take it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good
You know?
advice.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be a parent, but is it really worth
Not even
dealing
worth
with
driving.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't had anything major happen, but I just use my best judgment. I'm not going to card people. I'm not a bartender.
I had one ride out in Ada, and it ended up being some guys from the lacrosse team. They were all seniors, and the guy that requested the ride said he was 18. He looked it. I believed him.
Did you ask him, or he did come out with it?
No, I just said, I think it came up after the fact. So
Okay.
they were already in the car.
Yeah.
But I had kind of gathered just from looking at them that they seemed to be of age. There might have been a couple that were juniors. Who knows?
So I think it's as long as one person in the vehicle is 18.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the tough part. You don't really know.
And I think I am almost 100% sure at least one of them was 18.
You can't say 100%. You didn't look at their ID, Ben.
Yeah, well.
Ben. Jeez.
Well, his story confirmed it. He was talking about graduating this year and playing for some school.
So
that
you
they
can't
got
be
accepted
17 and
to.
graduate?
What's that?
I said you can't be 17 and graduate?
I guess you can.
Ben
but,
just
you
had to
know,
look like he was going to hit you in the back of the head.
got a fist and it's headed your way.
Yeah, so I mean, I feel as long as I use my best judgment, I mean, I guess if you wanted to be sure, and we all have cameras, you can say, "Are you 18?" And they say yes, then okay, peace
Yep.
out. I mean, obviously, if it's a 10-year-old and you ask them, I mean, the camera is not
Yeah.
going to do anything. But
I had one ride from Canonsburg. I just thought of this. And the dad was the one who requested the ride, but dad wasn't there. So I get to Canonsburg, and it's these two brothers that need a ride to East Grand Rapids. And it's surging. So I'm like,
Oh,
man,
I don't
that,
know. So I called the dad who requested the ride, and I spoke with him on the phone. I said, it's Uber policy that passengers need to be 18. Are you aware of that? And he said, well, yeah, but I need to get my kids home, and I can't go right now.
because I'm drunk.
Probably. So I said, well, do you give me permission to take them home?
Okay.
And he gave me permission over the phone. So I was like, I'm doing it. This is a nice surge ride.
Yeah, that money is just attempt. We've all kind of
Yep.
done it. I'm not going to say we try to follow the rules, but I'm not going to say I'm perfect. I mean,
I was going to say, I can think of when I first started driving, before I actually looked into the policies, I did pick up 2 kids from a middle school before.
yeah.
And I gave them a ride. It was just like a mile down the road, but
Yeah.
I did it. Looking
Yeah.
back, I was like, that
probably
was
not
really
good.
strange.
Right.
But then they
Middle
were like
schoolers.
explaining like, oh, their mom, is working 2 jobs and blah, blah, blah.
I
And-
get it. And there is a niche for this kind of service for those kids. It's not Uber, it's not Lyft, but someone needs to develop. I mean, I know I've seen some services like that. I mean, not in this
Well, it's
area.
probably just as simple as getting, fingerprint scanned.
Well, yeah, it needs to be more of a
Background check.
background check.
Yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I mean, I would never just in a million years let my kids get in a car that an Uber or Lyft. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm sure they would be fine, but I need more stringent background.
But you know what's
checks.
scary is that our kids, if and when they get a smartphone, can download the Uber and Lyft app. There's nothing stopping them from signing up for
I was going to say my 7-year-old can do that.
Well, here's the thing. Don't you need a credit card?
Kids have debit cards these days.
How hard was it when, well, I don't know when you were growing up, but getting your...
Back in the day when there was no cable TV or air
They probably didn't
conditioning.
have credit cards back then.
Yeah,
but,
right.
No,
We had a
how
Sears
easy
card.
was it to get your parents' debit card to, buy something online or, you know, a membership to whatever?
No, for sure. I'm just saying it'd be...
Or if you have PayPal, it works with PayPal, and anybody can get a PayPal account.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they do have some work to do to I don't know how they do it. That's above my pay grade, but yeah, I mean, it's not... I don't run into it often, probably because the hours I drive, typically, I don't drive during the day, but I'm sure the daytime drivers run into it quite a bit. But the next one up is another kind of hidden camera investigation shows Uber and Lyft willing to break the law. And this is more about car seat. So
Some rideshare drivers who say no child car seat is no problem may find themselves answering to police.
The 7 investigators went
more than the
undercover,
minors.
exposing Uber and Lyft drivers willing to break the law.
Tonight, our Simon Shaykat is showing what he uncovered to state police and joins us live with what's being done to keep our children safe. Simon?
Carol and Dave, Uber and Lyft require their drivers to follow all traffic safety rules. However, our investigation found that's not always the case when it comes to child safety seats, and we want to know what state police are doing about
I
it.
think it looks small.
I am hoping they all say no.
We put 3 Uber and 3 Lyft drivers to the test to find out just how many were willing to ignore state law. Emily Gotchling and her son Weston came with us for a total of 6 calls.
We don't have the car seat. Are you able to take us?
That's a good question. I know people have gotten in the car, they never asked. Should we just go?
Would you drive us anyway without a car seat?
Over and over,
Wow.
5 out of 6 drivers offered to take the ride anyway.
We don't have a car seat with us. Is that a problem?
Come on.
How far is it though? All the way. It's illegal to go without a car seat, right?
look,
You all right with it? I'm okay with it. If we don't have a car seat, it's also against the law.
Well, I'll be careful.
Driver, you have to be responsible about, people that are coming inside. They're in your care.
But out of 6 rides, this Lyft driver was the only one to stop us.
Yes?
You know, you have to have a child seat for a baby because I'll get a ticket for that.
After closely watching
Good
our
driver.
camera investigation, Michigan State Police Lieutenant Mike Shaw sharing his reaction to both Uber and Lyft drivers willing to look the other way, even transport a small child with his mother without a child car seat.
They're more likely to be killed in these type of crashes.
He also says with a Memorial Day weekend coming up, troopers will be cracking down on ride-sharing services and anyone else not securing kids properly.
It is disappointing to see something like that. Hopefully that the companies will take a look at some of, maybe
When
some
the-
of
when the
their
Lyft policy
policies and
pops up,
procedures of
pause
how
it
they're
once.
going to do that.
In part of a statement to us, Lyft says drivers should know that they have our full support, declining a ride for...
So it says drivers should know that they have our full support for declining a ride for passengers who do not follow Lyft safety policies, and their decision to do so will not impact their rating. Kind of a nice statement, right?
Yeah.
So watch when Uber's comes up.
Yeah.
passengers who do not follow Lyft's safety policies, and their decision to
Oh,
do
you
so
said it. Sorry,
will
I
not
didn't. I guess I
impact
didn't
their
mean to say
rating.
it.
In part of a statement, Uber tells us Uber's community guidelines lay out our expectation that drivers using the Uber app follow all relevant state, federal, and local laws and the rules of the road at all times.
So basically, what I got out of that is how Lyft was supportive and everything, and Uber's like, burp, 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 screw you.
It's a robot response.
Right, yeah, it's somebody in India. All right, go ahead.
We want you to know our mother and son never actually rode anywhere with those drivers, meaning we didn't break the law. If you want to know what else Uber and Lyft had to say about these incidents, we put their full statements on our website, WXYZ.com. Carolyn, back to you.
Simon, I know what the companies had to say, but what about the drivers? I know you asked them the question, did they know if this was against the law? Did they say after the fact that they would change what they were doing, or?
Yeah, many of these drivers did seem to know the law and blatantly disregard them. We know the companies certainly know the laws, and they have vowed to stay tough on these drivers, to crack down. We know the state police are going to be looking into it to make sure that this kind of stuff does not go on, because it does endanger children's lives.
Well, maybe now after your undercover investigation, they will think twice about taking couples without the proper car seat for their children. Thank you so much for bringing this to our attention, Simon.
That is one thing I will not do.
Yeah.
Ever.
You've never done it?
No, I've turned people away.
Okay, I have done it. I'm not going to lie. I've done it when at the airport a handful of times.
Really?
Maybe not a handful. Maybe two or three.
Like not super young kids.
Not
obviously.
babies, like maybe 4 or 5 year olds. I mean, kind of borderline. They definitely need a booster at 4 or 5. So I admit it.
I did have a really fun ride one time from Meyer. And I know that sounds odd, but fun rides from Meyer. But it was a mom and 2 kids, and one of them was really small. I'm like, crap, I'm going to have to cancel this ride. This is stupid. Why am I even doing this?
Right.
Well, she comes to the car, and what do you know? Out of the cart, she pulls a booster seat that's rated for her child. She's like, do you mind if I put this in? And I said, go right ahead, please.
Yeah.
So I was surprised, because usually when you do a Meyer pickup and there's kids, there's no car seat.
Right. I mean, I think out of 10 rides, I would say 1 has a car seat and 9 don't.
Yeah. Easily.
And I typically don't, but like I said, I have in the past at the airport, just because they get off the plane. Although I brought my kids booster seats like when I flew.
Exactly.
I mean, you just tag them and it's not the end of the world. But have you ever had anyone get like super irate? I have.
Well, just, not screaming at you, but just saying, oh, this is ridiculous, blah, blah, blah. We use the service all weekend and no one said anything. And
right. And it's, unless they start deactivating. Although, how are they going to know? That's the thing. How are they going to know? The rider's not going to report it.
Oh, heck no.
The driver's not going to report it.
But if something bad happens...
Well, yeah, but let's be, nothing... I mean, not that anything's not going to happen, but the chances are slim, and that's why drivers do it. If accidents were happening every other day with kids, they wouldn't do it as much. But it's just frustrating. I mean, one of the questions is, what do you say to the passenger? And just say, I can get a ticket. I mean,
do you not care about your child's life?
Well, yeah, I feel like we should flip the script a little bit and say, it would be absolutely terrible if your child died in my car because you didn't have a car seat. Like, maybe that will make them think a little bit more instead of, I might get instead of putting it on yourself, like I might get a ticket to say in a nice way that you're a terrible parent. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know what else we can do about it.
I'm not carrying a booster seat. I can tell you
No,
that.
we did talk about that.
That's such a pain.
It's a pain.
Takes up space. How many rides would you have lost because you didn't have that extra space?
Yeah, I mean, depending on what kind of car you have. If you have an Uber X and a big trunk, you can throw it in there, no problem.
That's why I didn't do airport rides this weekend.
Right.
I had camp chairs in the back from the soccer tournament.
No, you legit didn't.
So I didn't do airport rides because I didn't have anywhere to put the chairs.
I mean, my car, if I got an XL, I mean, I don't think I can put the booster seat in my back with the lid closed. I mean, I have 10 inches.
No, you can, because my Acadia can.
Well, I drive a Honda.
Well, they're the same exact thing.
No, they're not, because you had more room. Remember when we were doing the Buntinis?
The boxes, but barely. But I still had a good amount of space with my booster seat in the trunk.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just know there's not a lot of room. And liability, right? If you did get in an accident, they'd say, hey, whose booster seat is this?
But if they paid you more to carry the booster seat, I would probably carry a booster seat.
Oh, if Uber did?
Yeah.
For different game. If they've blessed it and said this is okay and we will back you if something happens, then no problem. I would still, even if it was sanctioned by Uber, I think I would still on camera say, are you okay using this booster seat that I bought?
Yeah.
And have the customer say, yes, I am. Okay, hop in.
Yeah.
So, I gotta pee.
The old man did a speed test on it today.
Yeah.
116 down.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you have at home?
Comcast.
That's what I have too. Now, do you get? I started recording again. Do you get? So you get 3 of them, right? So
Yes.
you put one. Although you don't have a 2-story home.
We have 1.5 story.
Oh yeah, that's right, you do. So
But
did you
our
have
son-
trouble?
We did. My son did, but since his little escapade at school, he's not had screens. So
Yeah.
But yeah, when we were actively using all 3 of them, he had one at the very top of the house in his attic room.
Yeah.
We had one on the main level and then one in the basement. And
Okay.
it works so great.
I have to get it. I keep waiting for the price to go down, but I use this thing called WikiBuys. Have you ever heard of WikiBuys?
Yeah.
And it tries codes and everything, but it will monitor stuff too, and like maybe every 10 days sends you an email. Anyways.
Ooh, my Lyft rating is horrible.
Yeah, I was going to say that, but I didn't want to.
What is it?
4.76.
I mean, it's not.
I don't do
It's,
any Lyft
it's
rides.
horrible by our standards.
Oh, yeah.
By our standards, yes, but you see some of the ratings on the national groups.
Yeah, I think I saw someone post like a 4.46.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I got deactivated. Well, no kidding.
No way.
I don't know.
Lyft doesn't joke around with their
I don't know
ratings.
how you can't at least maintain. I mean, I'm not trying to get on you hard, but like a 4.8 and above.
Yeah, 4.8.
Yeah, I don't know why people are so hard on me.
Well, here's the problem. You're probably only driving Lyft when it's super busy.
Prime
Yep.
timing.
Prime timing,
Yep,
so they're
that's really
pissed.
that is. That's exactly why.
If you did it regularly, your rating would go up when you're taking.
Of course,
Yeah.
he doesn't really have an excuse because that's kind of what I do, and I'm 496.
Yeah, but you do a lot of airport, so
Yeah.
I think that's part of it.
Actually, I did meet my goal, apparently. So I did 67 on Lyft and then 40 on Uber.
We'd really love whatever way you download the podcast. If there's a way to give a review, obviously everyone knows iTunes, but you can find us on Spotify, on iTunes, pretty much anywhere you can get a podcast, you can get us. And if you have an opportunity to review us, it would be greatly appreciated. That really helps us boost the search rankings by doing $100 on a Saturday night. Oh man, you're balling. I mean, I know that was your goal, but that's just pathetic.
It was
It's
horrible.
pathetic that that's his goal.
Yeah.
Well, I knew going in it's going to be a lousy night. So
Yeah,
I set
at
my
least you weren't like,
expectations
Jesper,
low.
I'm going to make $450. I know it was $350 or something.
I know. Yeah.
All right, next up, driver kicks out passenger on highway. Passenger dead from hit and run. Yeah, we'll just let it play, and hopefully the auto doesn't blow us out like last time. Buffering.
A bizarre death on the 110 freeway. A man killed by a hit-and-run driver after his Lyft driver made him get out on the side of the road.
Ben, he's
NBC
dead.
Gordon Tokumatsu is live
I
on
mean,
Highway
come
4
on.
now
Dead
with
guys
information
can have
about the
nice
victim
smiles.
and why the driver
Too
says
soon.
he had to cut the ride short. Gordon.
Carolyn, this is the CHP's collision report, which we got
Since
a
we can
copy
see
of
it, thanks
earlier
for holding it
today.
up.
Yeah,
In it,
news people are
witnesses
terrible
describe
for
the
that
victim
stuff.
as, quote,
You couldn't do this in the
running on
newsroom. You had to go out to the
lane
highway.
Here in this very busy stretch of the 110
Gordon
freeway.
Tokumatsu.
Question is, was he doing that because he had been pepper sprayed? The CHP says what happened to Justin Michael Lavelle is still unsolved.
This investigation is very active and it's still open.
CHP Sergeant Saul Gomez today filling us in on the bizarre accident. The 23-year-old West Hollywood resident struck and killed on the 110 freeway the morning of January 31st.
So you got a call before this happened? Yes, we did get a call from witnesses, which is part of our investigation.
But they want more witnesses. People who may have seen Lavelle get struck by a car which did not stop so the driver could render aid. Also, why was Lavelle running on the shoulder and in lanes?
Is he wearing
in the first
Crocs?
place?
I don't know, but
We
don't
wanna put
show me that
together,
shoe. That makes me feel
what
bad.
occurred before, what occurred days before, potentially.
Here's why. As NBC4 reported for the first time last night, Lavelle had been dropped off on the freeway by a Lyft driver, but there had been some kind of incident right before that.
He held my steering. I couldn't move an inch. I would have died. I didn't have no choice left. I have to save my life.
The driver claims a drunken Lavelle struggled with him for control of the car. But Lavelle's mother and friend Omar, who were speaking with Lavelle before the accident, say the driver had pepper sprayed him.
He couldn't see anything. He couldn't even open his eyes.
We cannot confirm that at the moment.
The driver denies that he pepper sprayed Lavelle. The coroner's office tells us we won't know until at least 6 weeks have passed. That's when chemical tests will come back. The autopsy
I don't understand that 6 weeks. You can't. I mean, I know they're backlogged, but you can't rush stuff like 6 weeks. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what it kind of speaks for itself. I mean, get a dash cam. I mean, that's super important. This would not be an investigation as far as the pepper spray. I mean, you kind of got two things going on. Like, you know, you got the guy that hit him and took off. And then you got the driver. You're like, why'd you let him off on the highway?
Seriously.
So clearly there's something going on. I mean, why would you normally do that? I mean, why? I mean, so clearly I think I think the driver is telling the truth, but no one knows. So, I mean, the question is, if it comes back and he was pepper sprayed, that doesn't really answer any questions, though.
Yep.
It could still, the family's going to say, well, the driver was just being insane and sprayed him, and that's why he couldn't see on the highway, and that's why he got hit. And so I don't think it'll ever get solved.
Moral of the story, don't drop off riders on the side of the highway.
Second moral of the story, have a dash cam.
No, I think that's the first moral. Then the second one, don't do it on the highway.
Yeah. I mean, I have dropped one out of all my rides. I've only had one that I was like, get out of my car now.
Yeah.
But I pulled over on the side of the road where it was safe.
Right.
And I didn't leave them stranded on a freeway.
Why not?
Because that's ridiculous.
Right. But if something was going on where the guy was if the guy was grabbing the steering wheel,
I mean,
would you
pull the car off to the side of the road and then beat the hell out of him?
Well, no, I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I mean, there's so many different reactions that you want to do. Like you said, beat the hell out of him. But we just got to calmly get out of the car and call the cops and just stand there. I mean, you start.
If he takes off running,
it's
not your fault,
right?
I would throw my hazards on, put the brakes on, stop the car, get out.
Yeah, and just walk away.
Be done.
Yeah, grab your phone and...
If you're gonna... I don't care if my car gets hit.
Yeah.
This is stupid.
It's very, very dumb, yeah. So, and the last one, importance of making sure riders buckle up. Oh, there's no video.
There's no video
of
this one.
Sorry, Nick. I left you hanging. So basically, the gist of it is they weren't wearing a seatbelt, and they got in an accident, head-on collision, I think. My question was, as I read it quickly before, was she the front passenger, or was she in the back?
They don't say in the story.
And this was in where? Santa Barbara. So, obviously, in Michigan... If you are above the age of 16 and in the back, you don't need a seatbelt on. The front, you do. So that's what I would be curious if California is the same.
They do have their kind of codes down here a little bit.
Oh. So there's different rules for quote-unquote taxi cabs.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, honestly, I don't make people buckle up, but I've seen people on the Facebook page that say they don't start rolling until everyone's got their seatbelt on.
Everyone?
Wow. Can you imagine at 1:30 in the morning at the tin can in an XL trying to get all those people to put their seatbelt on? I mean, mine's a 7-seater, but if you put 3 people on a bench, it's hard to get 3 seatbelts on. I mean,
especially if they're larger people.
Right. I mean, not even large. I mean, my kids have trouble doing that. So,
yeah, as long as the person in the front seat's buckled.
And that is the law. So you are following the law by doing that.
Yep. I hate it when I hear the ding and I look over and they're not buckled.
Dude, it's always my favorite game to see how long I can go with the ding or before either A, they realize it, or B, someone in the back yells at them because it's annoying.
Yeah.
Like, how are you not hearing this? Like,
seriously.
I'm like gritting my teeth every time it goes off. I'm like, nope, not going to say it. Not going to say it.
The nice part, though, is they will get the ticket if you do get pulled over.
True, yeah, because they're over 16 and they know better.
They know better.
So, yeah, I mean, I think we're all in agreement. None of us make our passengers buckle up.
Nope. I'm not their daddy.
Well, no. I mean, I get it. It's actually safer for you if they buckle up because if you get in an accident, there's going to be bodies flying all over the place. But again,
I mean, usually when people hear the ding ding, they buckle up.
No, the front ones. I'm talking about the back.
Oh, the back ones. I don't care about them.
I don't.
No, but my point is if you
Maybe
get
we should care.
Well, yeah, we should because it actually. I mean, selfishly, it probably can affect us as some drunk idiot comes flying through the back of the seat and hits me in the back of the head because they weren't buckled in. But I don't have time for that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe I say, hey, make sure you buckle up and then just hit drive and go. But, all right, I think we're done with that. One of the things that I thought we try to do is 3 questions that is asked in our local Facebook group. And I think some of them can be helpful and some of them can be funny. So, first question, does Grand Rapids have Uber Pool?
No, Grand Rapids does not have Uber Pool.
Right. It doesn't. And can we explain for new drivers what Uber Pool is?
Uber Pool is something that's available in
larger cities,
bigger markets where there's more riders. And you can essentially, it's like taking the bus. I mean, they stop.
In a smaller form.
Yeah, they stop. Passenger gets in. You might get a ping to go stop a little further up the road, get another passenger, and then you drop them off. It's just...
So it's a service where multiple riders can ride for cheaper versus riding individually.
And the driver gets paid the same. He doesn't get an increased fare.
Nope. Yeah,
and that's the
sounds
crappy
so
part.
Stupid.
So you could be on an Uber Pool trip for like 3 hours in the larger cities.
I know that the difference is you don't get your own pickup. It's not door-to-door service. It's certain points.
Yep.
But it sounds like a complete nightmare.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
thank goodness, if you're in the Grand Rapids area as a driver, you don't have to worry about it. It's Grand Rapids is too spread out. But yeah, that was one of the questions, I think, from a new driver. But the second one, the post that I've been driving for over a year now, went out about 4 hours today, made a little money, then stopped getting requests. I checked the rider app and it wasn't showing up, even though I'm showing online in the driver app. After several messages to Uber, they came back with, we are waiting on your background check. What the hell? I got no notification. Do they randomly do background checks? I don't get it.
Yes, they randomly do background checks.
Right. Have you guys been done yet?
Yeah, I've already had mine.
Your second one or whatever?
I've had like 3.
Really?
Yeah.
I have not since I started driving.
Have you checked your email carefully, though?
Not really.
Well,
I mean, I read Uber stuff.
Like, they don't even send a notification that they're doing it. You just get the notification that they did it.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never seen it since it happened, and maybe it did happen, but what about you, Ben?
I have got them. And I was just going to pull it up, but it's not finding it. But yeah, it was just randomly. I'll get an email from Razor, whoever does the background check.
Is it Razor or Checker?
Checker does the background check.
Checker, that's right.
What's Razor?
Razor used to be the payment processor.
Razor LLC or whatever.
Oh, Razor, R-A. I was thinking like Razor, R-A-Z.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So, no, but Checker, yeah. I just get an email that says your background check is complete. It's like, okay, didn't know they were doing that, but cool.
Interesting. I mean, it's good that they're doing it. Same with the inspection. It is a pain in the butt to get it done. But it cleans out some riffraff.
Does it though? Well,
I mean, it doesn't. Inspection. It doesn't. You get away with 1 year, right? I mean, depending on where you're going, I think any certified mechanic can approve you. So if you got a buddy that's a good old boy and doesn't care, he's just going to write okay. Although it does come back on him.
That's what I was going to say. I wonder what the legalities of everything.
I would assume if they approved it and something happened like 2 weeks later that...
It's like, hey, this was on the inspection form and you said it was good, but it's really not.
Right. So... does anyone get nervous? Third question, when the riders get the hiccups. Yeah, I get super nervous. I mean, it's scary. So what I do is normally throw the air on. I don't care what time of year it is. I make it I make it like a refrigerator in there because I mean we've all drank before too much, and when you're feeling a little nauseous, or even when you're not drinking, if you're sick, what do you want to do? You want to be cool, right? You just get in the sweats. So, that is not a good sound.
That's why we have those barf bags, though. You know.
I've really thought about those barf bags, though. No one's ever used them.
I had that one where the girl peed in my seat because she puked so hard.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
The hole in it is so small. I wonder if, Katie Ray from Kalamazoo, she says she takes 1 gallon Ziplocs. I mean, the mouth is wide, so, you're not going to miss, because I just feel like those medical ones, if you're drunk, if you're sober, you can put your mouth.
I don't know. My girl used it like a champ, so.
Yeah. People have stolen them because they think they're big blue condoms.
And I've had another one just spit in it.
Awesome.
Oh.
Thanks, bro. Did you see what's next on our list or not? I want to play that because it's super funny. Did you guys play it? The little Billy Uber driver?
No.
So it's on our Facebook page, so we'll give Nick some time to, not our Facebook page, sorry, our local,
Little Billy?
Sorry. Our local Grand Rapids group, but
I did not see that.
No, I actually played it last night, so I really like
having used to being on my phone.
No, it's not new, so you're gonna have to.
That's what I was saying. Where's the search bar?
Oh, really? Up at the top.
Yeah, right up there.
Oh, bingo!
Just click on it.
That's what I was looking for. Come on.
I guess search for Little Billy.
I must have missed that.
No, that's. Oh wait.
Little Billy drives for.
Yeah. That's it.
Your Uber is on its way. Your driver's name is Lil Billy. Hey man, I really appreciate you getting here so fast. It is hot.
Thanks for choosing Uber. I'm Billy. I'm gonna be your. I'm driving you today.
Maybe I should sit in the back.
Oh no, my customers never sit in the back. So do you want the fast route or the scenic route? I would suggest the scenic route because I can take you out. I'll show you go places that not many people really know about.
Great as the scenic route sounds, I am in a hurry, so let's go with the fast route.
Okay, so what do you want to talk about? We could talk about ninja stores. We could talk about Legos. We could talk about different rap styles.
How about we just listen to some music?
Oh, you want some music? Why don't you say something? I can sing something for you right now.
Oh, it's alright, man. Let's just listen to the radio.
Radio? Who needs a radio? I can be your hero, baby. Straight from that ledge, my friend. You could cut ties with all the lies that you've been living in. Wake up, put him in the baloney, make up. I can't like a wrecking ball. Up in that titanium. It's been a long day without you, my friend. I don't mean to start a war. Hello. It's me. I would get my hand up, play my thumb, butterfly fly away. Moving my hips like yeah, nodding my head like yeah. Hello from the other side. Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy. But
what is that, a Snapchat filter?
Yeah. Call me maybe. You got to be so rude. Don't you know you make
He's got another video where he's plunging in toilet.
Find trouble with me. Trying to keep it peaceful is a struggle for me. Don't pull up at 6 a.m.
Bro, stop. Just stop. Do not sing another song for the love of God. Can we just get where we're going, please? Please.
Okay. But first, one last song. Despacito, bruto pares de tortito.
Nope. Can't do it.
Despacito.
That's great. So is this guy like an Uber driver, or is this he just does funny videos?
He just does funny videos.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna start in the podcast notes too to try to like put these links and stuff on there so people can look at them. But God, that's funny. Current events. So Roseanne, the big controversy. I mean, obviously, and maybe I don't understand it. I didn't. I don't know if it's a video or not. You can play it if you want, but if you want,
she just made some racist tweets. It's basically the gist of it.
Yeah, we won't play the video.
Yeah, I didn't play it, so I don't know what it says. But can you page down a little bit and see? I think it's what was the tweet?
They probably won't show her.
No, they
tweet
do. Keep going down. At least they did last night, but oh no, keep going. Shoot. I thought I read it somewhere, but oh yeah, there it is. Barr's tweet about Jared said Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby. I mean, it's a little racist, but I mean, it's not terrible. She's a comedian.
Yeah. Comedians push the lines all the time.
They do.
I mean, you learn that when you take comedy courses.
Right.
Like, it's what makes people laugh.
Yeah, and I am fine with ABC. I couldn't believe they did it. I mean, that show had 18 million views on the first night.
Really? Yeah.
Aired or
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it dipped way down the second one because everyone just wanted to see what it was about. But I guess the biggest issue was everyone kept saying, "Oh, what about free speech?" Well, yeah, you have free speech, but you still have consequences with that free speech. I mean, you work for ABC or and you say those things. They have a right to say "peace out," you know, and good for them for doing it. I mean, it's not a good tweet.
No.
So an update to that though, she left Twitter, but she was back on today.
But she says it was because of her Ambien.
Right.
She wasn't really coherently posting.
Yeah, but then I saw one of the owners of Ambien came back at her.
Yeah.
Really?
They were going back and forth and like,
amazing.
yeah, please don't use our didn't make you write that or something to that effect.
Yeah.
I noticed in that, and it's just it's a shame. I mean, this is such a different time now, isn't it, than what it was back in the day.
It is. You can't get away with anything.
No.
Like, you say anything, there's a trail. I mean, it's digital. It follows you.
Yeah. So, I mean, what I feel bummed out about is all the staff and all the crew for that show. Probably 150 people.
Easy.
They're done. I mean, of course, they're going to find other work,
others, yeah.
but they probably have planned this out for the next however long it takes. She's fine. She's got tons of money.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
no problem there, but everyone else, it's kind of a bummer. But, well, we'll see what happens. I mean, I don't really care. But I didn't watch it and wouldn't watch it. But next up... This is ridiculous, and this article is not that good. It's just a little synopsis, but basically, this gospel preacher wants his parishioners, or he says followers, but to buy him a $78 million. Although I saw $78 million and $54 million. Not that matters, but wants to buy him a private jet
Because God told him he needs it.
Right. He's already owned 3 private jets throughout his life, and he's burning them up for the Lord and needs a new one. How can you put your head on the pillow at night and say that was the right thing to say?
Seriously.
Like, gosh, it's like
because 3 isn't enough.
Well, no, I think they don't have 3. They've used 3 and they're done. They burning them up. Didn't you get the thing?
I don't know.
Are you not following
that?
You're not following it? He needs his own Twitter account. He about tweets as good as Trump.
Hey, now.
What? I'm just saying. He says if Jesus physically on the earth today, he wouldn't be riding a donkey. Yeah.
Actually, he would.
No, I don't think he would. He'd be riding in a Kia. But the thing is, what makes me think about this is the new Pope. how he like stripped down,
Yeah.
took all the gold and the Pope Mobile and the big thing. Like he's
Exactly.
like, this is ridiculous. This is not how we should be living. You know, he's a sweet Pope. I'm not Catholic, but I think he's done great things in showing the people that, you know, you don't have to be like this. And so he would not be riding a donkey, but he definitely would. He definitely wouldn't be in a private jet.
No, I don't think so either. And you know, this is the stuff that makes people not believe.
I know.
in God. It's like this is the reflection that Christians are giving to the world. It's horrible.
It is horrible. And I don't know. That guy looks familiar, but I've never heard of his name. I swear he's a TV evangelist.
He is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like on Sundays?
On Channel 2, he's probably preaching.
Right. So, yeah, you're right. I knew you'd bring that up, and I appreciate that good point about making it look like they were just money hungry.
Yeah. And it's really sad because that's the rap that my faith is getting.
Right.
And I don't that's not what I stand for.
I mean, why can't he just fly commercial? Like
or even
everyone
first
else?
class.
Yeah.
Like, why not?
No
why
one-
do you need $1 million bazillion jet?
Yeah.
When you could fly first class, fine, enjoy that luxury. Why do you need your own jet?
Yeah, why?
Like, you're a lunatic.
What is he, the government? Jeez, spending all that
Seriously.
money.
I can go on and on. We need to go to the different link.
Okay. Tim Hortons guest goes batshit crazy, literally, when not allowed to use restroom. This one has a... What are we doing here? Oh, there was a video on that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can you go back to that?
You can go to the...
I want to hear... Oh,
you want me to play it?
Yeah, see if it plays.
Defending their jets. Oh, my gosh.
Shut up with your fair news.
But first, before I read the scripture, Amos chapter 6. Brother Copeland, I was flying home from a meeting, and I had come out
Flying
of a
home from a
glorious
meeting.
Flying.
I had just finished, me and Creflo Dollar were preaching. Had a glorious meeting. So I was, for lack of a better way to say it, I was spiritually high. I said, people were saved, touched, and blessed. Got in the plane that God so graciously
Touched
gave us.
by who?
We're flying home. As I was going home, the Lord, real quickly, he said, Jesse, do you like your plane?
Oh, my
You know,
gosh.
it's a profound statement. I said, well, certainly, Lord. He said, do you really like it? And I thought, well, yes, Lord. Then he said this, so that's it? I didn't know how to handle it for me. I went, what? He said, you're going to let your faith stagnate? And when he said that, that shocked me. I went, whoa, wait. I literally unbuckled my seatbelt, my plane. I stood up. My pilots looked at me and said, do you need something? I said, no, I'm talking to God right now. And he went back to flying. I said, Lord, I don't think I was letting my faith stagnate. He said, so this is all I could ever do. I said, you're trying to tell me something. He said, go to the book of Amos. So if you're at the book of Amos, I want to read the scripture.
May I
right now.
interrupt you there
Yes,
for
sir.
a second? Mm-hmm. You couldn't have done that on an airliner.
No, sir. No way.
Stand up and say, what'd you say, Lord?
No.
Okay, no, yeah.
What's
and
the
the guy
time on
said,
this
no,
video?
listen, what the hell does he think he's doing?
You can't do that.
No. This is so important. And those of you that are just now coming into these things.
This guy's had way too much Botox.
In the first place, Jesse and I and others, Keith Moore and Creflo and all of us, the world is in such a shape, we can't get there without this.
That's right.
We've got to have this. We would have
my
the
God.
mess that the
American
airline
Airlines, Southwest
I would have to
Airlines,
stop. I'm being very
United,
conservative.
Frontier.
At least 75 to 80, more like 90% of what we're doing, because you can't get there from here.
It's impossible.
So
bunch
and this was such a good illustration. I just the Lord impressed me. That's why we're on that airplane. We can talk to God.
Glory to God.
All right.
When I was
we
flying,
can turn it off. This is ridiculous.
Wow.
That is crazy.
Ugh. I wonder if the Tim Horton lady can somehow just run into them. That'd be phenomenal. You know, the woman caught on camera pooping on the floor at
So
Tim
I actually
Hortons.
saw this video of this
It
lady
is-
doing it.
Oh,
Yeah, I did too.
yeah.
Is there no link in here? There's no audio, I don't think. Oh, there is a video.
Should we play it?
Sure. Yeah, it is. Unreal.
Oh, it's
So
somebody
she's demanding to use the bathroom.
Yeah. Well, somebody's just recording it on their phone. Oh, she's pissed. She grabs some napkins. She takes her shirt off around her waist. She pulls her pants down and she dropped a big pooper. Oh! She just picked it up and scooped it and wiped. Oh! Oh my gosh.
What is wrong with people?
There's a
wow.
What's that? What's the guy's name? He was on Barstools. He's a comedian. Oh, this is I can't remember his name, but he got fired from Barstool, but he does a little voiceover of this and it's he's been on the shows I listen to on the podcast. Why am I Michael Rappaport?
Okay.
Michael Rappaport. Did you hear it? I mean, it's not for the...
I haven't heard it. I know who you're
very
talking
PG.
about.
Or NC-17. I meant it's not PG, but it's very funny.
Oh, I can't believe that. Oh.
But, what are you looking up, Ben?
Michael Rappaport.
Oh, you'll probably find it. Yeah, he's really potty mouth, but he got fired from Barstool Sports or something like that, but... I don't know what the follow up with that lady is. I don't know if they charge her with.
They did
defecating
charge her.
in public.
They did charge her. I know that much. She's waiting for her day in court. Basically.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
this was in Canada.
Yeah, which is surprising. Everyone seems so nice in Canada, isn't that like the thing? Eh?
Do you know how Canada got its name?
No.
You want to know?
Yep.
So.
I'm going to fact check you on this.
The people that were establishing the country, they just put some letters in a bag and started pulling them out one at a time.
So letters like
letters is in
the alphabet?
Yeah.
Okay.
So they put them in a bag, pulled them out. First letter, C, A, N, A.
Oh, geez.
D,
Dad joke.
A, Canada. There you go.
I don't think we're fact checking that.
No.
All right. Today I learned.
What would you do without my dad jokes?
So today I learned Claude Hatcher bought a large amount of Coca-Cola syrup from a salesman, of course, and thought he deserved a reduced rate for the amount. Don't know why. When refused, Hatcher vowed to never purchase Coca-Cola again and determined to develop his own soft drink. He kept his vow, and today we have Royal Crown.
Hey, my favorite.
Nick's favorite, RC Cola. I don't remember the last time I had an RC Cola.
How dare
delicious.
You like it too?
I love it. Oh, yeah.
So does 7-Up own that?
They do.
They do?
Well, they distribute it. But I don't know if they... I know they made it at the production facility in Holland. But
at the 7-Up production facility?
But I don't know if they actually own it.
Can you click on that link? It looks like a Wikipedia. Oh. I should click on stuff anymore. Huh.
Wow, I didn't know that.
There's a lot of information about that.
Royal Crown is the first company to sell soft drinks in a can.
Really?
And then
and aluminum can.
Wow.
Well, what was the first can they sold it in?
I don't know. Metal?
Probably had lead in it. Oh, 2000 Royal Crown was acquired by Cadbury.
Man, learning all sorts of new stuff.
Yeah, Wikipedia is great and it's bad because anyone can go into Wikipedia and edit it.
Yep.
But the edits that don't get support disappear over time.
Oh, do they? When you
fact check that.
So when you're basically saying when support, what do you mean? Like
I'm pretty sure before changes can be logged, they have to be validated by a source or by another community member.
Okay.
Like you can't just put random shit up there and then expect it to stay.
Because I remember Freeburn Hot Wings when I used to listen to them, and they would their Wikipedia page would get hacked all the time, or not hacked, but they would get crazy stuff put on there. But
sorry, I'm just laughing at the RC10.
I wonder how much of that still, because is that the year that it came out?
Yeah, launched. I just remember when RC10 launched. That's why I was laughing about it.
I don't know any of those names. Like, I mean, of course, Diet Cherry RC. I mean, obviously, I could figure that out. But RC10, like, if you told me, have you tried RC10? I'd be like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Dr. Pepper 10, 7-Up 10, RC10.
Oh, is that what it is? Oh,
it's just 10 calorie drink.
That's right. I remember the Dr. Pepper 10.
It was awful.
Was it? Well, I remember the Dr. Pepper 10 because they pounded the advertising for that. I mean, there was a huge push for that drink.
Yep, I remember doing a couple display builds for that.
Oh, nice. Huh.
All right, moving on.
Of course, we end on a sad note.
Hey, I didn't see that you wrote that note.
What note?
The creation of RC Soda, Nick's favorite.
Yeah, I literally wrote that.
Literally.
Well, thanks, Jason. Glad to see you care.
Literally is true. I literally wrote that. The last one is, today I learned dogs that served with the U.S. Army in Afghanistan from 2010 to 2014 were poorly treated upon discharge. Some were left in kennels for many months and not cared for, while others remain unaccounted. Several soldiers later searched and rescued their dogs. Basically, it reiterates our government's terrible when our veterans come home.
Yeah.
And even for the dogs and the I've always been super bummed about that. I don't understand why they do that, where they have to wait so long. I'm talking not the dogs, but I'm talking about the veterans.
Yeah.
Have to wait so long for, I mean, it's ridiculous. They should be able to get top of the line service for the rest of their life.
They put their lives at risk for our benefit.
I feel like a lot of those guys stay in the service that long because when you're in the service, you're good.
Oh,
you're golden. Sure. But the second you're out, they're like, peace out.
Done.
And it's a shame. It's an absolute shame. So that's a cute doggy.
But yeah, I mean, think about these guys and gals, military women as well. But
well, when you say guys, we all, we get it. You don't have to be politically correct.
Here.
Yeah,
I mean, they form a bond with this dog for crying out loud.
Yeah.
And then what? I mean, that's just horrible.
Yeah.
Think about being separated.
Yeah, I mean the owner that, or the what are they called? The handler should be able to get that dog.
Like, yeah, the second you're out, the dog should come with you.
Right, or if the dog's done, he should be able to go home. Then they're like, well, you're not married. Where does the dog go? So I mean, I can see.
I wonder what the average lifespan of the dogs are.
There was something I read, maybe in the comments on the Reddit thing, but there was something about how many dogs they had in Vietnam, and like not one of them came back. Like they used a ton, like thousands of dogs. I mean, again, fact check, but kind of a.
Think of how much money it costs to train all those dogs and everything like that, too.
Way to go, Ben.
Yep. Sorry. Ben, jeez.
Is that your cell phone?
No.
I know. I just see that.
It's an advertisement.
See, now you lost Nick's train of thought.
I did. Sorry, Nick.
No, I was just saying, is it really worth all that training for those dogs and spending all that money if they're going to be mistreated and,
Well, I'm thinking they're mistreated after they've done their job. They're like old, I'm sure the life, it's probably a couple year tour for those dogs, and they're like, peace out, you're done, you're not good anymore. But, yep. So that's about it. I don't think we have a lot of it, but we did.
I've got a couple things.
We're trying a possible new segment, fact checking after the podcast is over. That is Ben heard that on what podcast?
Armchair Expert.
Dax
Shepard.
How long is that podcast? I didn't look it up.
Oh my gosh, they are long, but they're worth it.
I cannot commit to any more long ones. I mean, I already got.
They go about 2 hours.
That's not terrible.
But honestly, the last half hour is he and his producer fact checking stuff.
Okay.
So it's really about 90 minutes.
Okay.
He did an episode with Ellen. It was so short because her agent wouldn't allow her to be on for much longer. So that one was only like 20 minutes.
So did they awkwardly say it on the podcast, like, I have to be done? Or did you hear? That's ridiculous.
Wow. Yeah.
See, that's one thing, like, I love Joe Rogan. I know everyone thinks I have a boner for him, which I do. But I just like how it's just, he had a 3.5 hour podcast today.
Dang.
And
Now,
you listened to it all.
I did, but it was with his buddy Brian Redman and the producer Jamie.
Sure.
And it was great. It was.
So you probably listened to it when you were out.
Right. Yeah. During winter time, I don't listen to podcasts. I'm not out in the field. I don't have time to listen to a 3.5 hour podcast. It would take me 2 months to listen to that in the winter because driving in my car or whatever, I don't drive that much.
It's not like your riders are going to want to hear Joe Rogan.
Right. No, it's not PG, but anyway, so we're going to wrap this up and thank you for listening. And yeah, have a good night. I hope you got some entertainment and some information. Bye.
Bye.
One other thing is we have a new segment. We're calling it a fact-checking segment, and we're going to release that on the off weeks that we do the podcast. So it is definitely not PG, so just be warned on that. But just basically anything we ran our mouths about during the podcast, we basically stopped recording and started another podcast or another recording and kind of went through everything and fact-checked it, and it's a bunch of rambling too. It's only like 12 minutes long, so. Well, I hope you enjoyed that show. We really appreciate you downloading and listening to it. We worked really hard on it. We had a riot tonight talking about stuff. So if you have any questions or want to hit us up, you can get us at Twitter at GRRideShare or Facebook as well. We try to post a couple times a week, cool stories, funny things we find. So if you have any questions or any feedback, that'd be great to let us know about that. Also, any podcast app that you downloaded on, please review us on that. It does help us in the search rankings. Also, I am going to start in the show notes, whatever podcast app you downloaded on. I'm going to try to put the links on there. So that's something that you can, if you hear something and listen, you can kind of click on it and read the article or watch the video or whatever. So thank you very much. Have a great day.